Hey friends, if you want to see how I revive, renew, and fill this old nail set using Mia Secret's acrylic nail kit, which then transforms my nails into this festive, quick, and easy to do holiday look, stay tuned. So jumping right into the nail prep, the first thing I want to do is file off my old gel polish. Now you can do two things. You can either do the foil and the cotton ball method, or you can use a gel polish remover. This is one of my favorites by the brand Glam. And so what it does is it just begins to eat away at your polish. It's one of the coolest things when the polish begins to lift, and it only takes about 20 minutes or so to do. And all you need is about 2 to 3 coats. You let it sit and it begins to remove the gel polish for you. And if you don't have an e-file, no worries. As you see, I'm using a sanding block because I don't want anybody to be left out of the process. And for my divas that do have an e-file or are interested in purchasing one, I'm going to be using the Touch Beauty handheld file. It's battery operated. It's under $25. One of my best purchases that I've gotten this year to help me on my nail journey. And what you see me doing right now is just debulking the nail. It's so important to remove just a little bit of layer and a little bit of thickness to the nail, especially when you're doing fill-ins, because you don't want them to eventually get too bulky and too thick. And I'm also going to be removing any part of the nail that has lifted so that when it's time to fill, we have a nice, smooth, even surface. And then the very next thing we want to do is a little bit of cuticle work. So what I'm using is this double-sided tool I also got from Amazon. And pretty much I'm just removing any dead old skin from the nail plate and the nail bed, getting it ready for the fill-in. So the first side just pushes the cuticle back and lifts it up. And this side is a trimmer. So it allows you to remove a little bit of the cuticle, just enough, but you have to be careful because you don't want to nick yourself, but it's a lot easier than cuticle nippers. And then after I clean up my cuticle with my tool, I like to go in with a gentle cuticle drill bit. The good thing about this e-file is it comes with all of the bits that you'll need. Sometimes when I'm doing a rush job, I don't even do the metal tool part. I just go right in with this cuticle bit. As you can see on these coming nails, it does all of the work for me. It's not a lot of brain thought and it gets it done. And then after I address those cuticles, I just like to take this metal drill bit that also comes with the e-file and go up under my nail, removing any gunk, junk, debris, and also melting my real nail back into the extension. And then the very last step that I like to do before I do my acrylic is file my nails. I like to reshape them. As you can see, I typically do rounded corners, but the thing about rounded corners, by the time it's time to do a fill-in, the nail will be completely round. This is an optional step. You can just wait to file after you do your acrylic application. I just like my nail to already be set in the shape that I want. So when it's time to do the acrylic, I don't have to do a lot of filing afterward. And the shape I'm going for today is a classic ballerina nail, which is pretty much just a square nail that tapers off and gets slimmer towards the end. And the way you achieve that is just filing on an angle. So now it's time to get into our fill-in. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is using Mia Secret's dehydrator and nail primer. And so what the dehydrator does is it helps to degrease the natural nail surface. It restores your pH balance of your nail plate, and it helps you to receive a nail enhancement product. In this instance, it would be the acrylic. And it also makes sure whatever you put on your nail, it sticks. So right now I'm using the dehydrator. I just like to go around the cuticle and a little bit on the nail plate. And then I go in with the nail primer, which also helps to degrease the nail, balances the pH of the nail, and it helps to prevent air bubbles, which ensures longevity of your acrylic application. So now, keeping in the same brand family, which is not sponsored, but I'm going to be using Mia Secret's liquid monomer and clear acrylic powder. If you saw my first acrylic nail video, I'm on this nail journey of doing my nails at home on a budget because we're still in a pandemic. I liked Model 1's, the brand, but I did notice some lifting, and I just wanted to see what else was on the market, and I have been pleasantly surprised. This one is the jam, and it's fairly affordable. So I know acrylic can be a little bit intimidating, so I do just want to walk you through how to create the perfect bead, which will give you a seamless, flawless application. And so the first thing you want to do is you want to dip your brush. I'm using a number 8 size acrylic brush. You want to dip it in your monomer. You want to tap it on the side once or twice. I do it on each side. And then you want to go into your acrylic and pick up a nice size bead. You don't want it too big. You don't want it too thick. But the way that you can always tell when you have a successful bead is if you shake it and it doesn't move, you know you're on one. And it takes a little while to get your consistency and your rhythm. But once you get your flow, it is on and popping. And so because we're only doing a fill-in today, I am going to just apply the product starting at the cuticle area. You want to make sure that you don't flood the cuticles, but you do want to get it as close as possible, which means your fill-in will last a little bit longer. For the most part, I do my nails once a month, y'all. I have got my routine down that they last and they hold me down in the interim, as opposed to when I was going to the nail salon every 2 weeks. And so after you do around your cuticle, you just want to work the product down, building up your apex, which I mentioned in the previous video is the highest part of your nail enhancement, which is also located at the weakest part of your nail enhancement. So right after the free edge that passes your finger, you just want to build that up a little bit, not too thick, but enough that it gives you a sturdy nail that will stand the test of time, because nothing is worse than working all hard on your hands and you break a nail. So now it's time to get back into that filing. As you can see, I only got to do minimal because we did our main shaping before we did our acrylic. So again, for all my divas that don't have an e-file, don't feel bad. What you're going to do is just use your nail file. You are going to work that nail file all across your nails. You want to be gentle around your cuticle, but you really want to buff and debulk that nail. You want to make sure it's nice and even and smooth. And the way that you can check it is always using your finger, just to make sure you don't feel any lumps, bumps, or humps. And then I'm going to be doing my preferred method, which is using my Touch Beauty, again, e-file. I'm going to be using 180 sanding grit medium drill bit. And this is just going to help me to smooth out the cuticle. I'm going to begin to push back the side walls, make sure I'm smoothing that area as well. In this set, I didn't really have a lot to file, but let me tell you, I've had to work my way up to this, hun. And sometimes, even now, it is still a bumpy and a rocky time. So I just want to say, anybody that's on their nail journey, stay encouraged, keep practicing. You'll learn, you'll grow, you'll learn new techniques every time. Sometimes you will completely bomb it, but don't worry about it. It gets better. And so I'm going to go under my nail with that sanding bit and just reshape my C-curve. And then I'm going to go in with a sanding block and just smooth and buff my nails out. So if you don't have an e-file, you just go straight from your nail file to your sanding block. And this is what we're working with, y'all. I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm the best nail tech. I'm still new at it. But I can definitely see the improvement between this video and the first one. And so after I finish up my nails, I just want to rinse them off and prepare them for the nail art. So my good friends at Madam Glam sent me another beautiful holiday care package. And they gave me 3 polishes as well as a base coat and a top coat. The base coat and top coat will be used today. The colors didn't really fit my holiday festive theme, but they will be used, trust. And their shipping is amazing. Like they said, I'm sending you a package and it was here in like 2 days. So if you use my code Janera30 at checkout, you can get yourself 30% off just in time for the holidays. So of course, as promised, starting off with a base coat. What a base coat does is it's a protective layer between your nail and your polish and helps to avoid staining. A rule of thumb is obviously the darker the polish, the more chance you get at staining. So this is a step you do not want to miss. And they also sent me this beautiful snowflake holiday inspired mini lamp, and that is what I'm going to be curing my fingers with today, and I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds. So all of the color polish that I'm using today is by the brand The Beatles. I will have all of the names and descriptions down in the description box as well as in my Amazon store. So I'm just going to go in and do an even coat of the color. The middle finger is going to be the candy cane nail. So I'm starting off with the white in the shade 894. I just do one coat and then I clean it up with acetone around the cuticle just to make sure I don't have any flooding. And then I cure that for 30 seconds. And then I go in and do another coat of polish, clean it up with acetone, and then I cure that for 60 seconds. So the red I'm going to be using today is also by the Beatles, and the green is also by the Beatles as well. And I will put those numbers down in the description box. So now it is time to get into the design. So I'm going to be using Model 1s. I do still use some of their products, their nail glue gel. And what I love about it, it has a nice thick consistency, and my stones, literally, I almost have to get them off with the jaws of life. And that may not be a good thing for some people, but for me, it works out. So I'm just going to, on my green nails, apply red stones. No rhyme or reason. I'm just doing an angled design. I always like to start with the larger stones first and then begin to fill in the space with the smaller stones. And I'm going to do that on both of my green nails. And then once I have my stones placed exactly where I want them, I'm going to go in with Madam Glam's top coat, and that is just going to help to seal in the polish and the design. So I'm going to go over the green area and then really lightly over the stones just to give it a little bit of extra kick. And so for my red nails, I'm going to be going in with these pearl and iridescent stones, and I'm going to add some more of that nail glue gel all over the nail just to ensure an easy adhesion. And I'm just going to apply them. Again, this one is no rhyme or reason. This one is literally just scattered gems. I just want to kind of give you guys different vibes on each nail just for inspiration purposes, and because sometimes you don't really know what you're doing. You're just going with it. And I actually really do like how it came out. And so for my green and my red nails, I cured both of them for 60 seconds after adding the top coat. So now we're getting into the very last nail. I'm going to be using the Beetles 378 red gel polish to create the candy cane nail design. So I'm just wiping off the top because typically I just work from the bottle when I'm doing hand painted designs. So the first thing I'm doing is creating a line. I'm going to do 3 thick lines similar to this, and that is the starting point. So it looks a little pinkish, but what you do is you do your first line, you cure it for 30 seconds, and then you go back in with your red and you do a second or third coat of your choice. So what you also see me doing is cleaning up with acetone. You really want to make sure that you're keeping the white space white as possible. So now we have our third line. And another trick that I learned is between every layer, cure it, because what happens is if you mess up another line and you move too fast, then you got to wipe everything off. So you want to, it takes a little while. It literally took me like an hour to do this, y'all, but it's worth it to take your time. And so then once I have my lines, I'm just going to go in between with thinner lines, and that's pretty much it. So I know you guys are like, girl, what's going on with this giveaway? I didn't watch the whole video. I'm picking 3 winners. All you gotta do is subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment down in the comment section below of an item that you like from this video and you want sent to you. And boom, I'm gonna announce the winner next Wednesday, the Wednesday right before Christmas, which is December the 23rd. And that's all I'm asking from y'all. It's the holidays, and I just want to be good to y'all as y'all have been good to me. Before we go, the last thing, you always want to put on your cuticle oil, give your fingers a massage. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. If you dig me and dig what I have to offer, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. And if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, meet me down in the comment section. I will be in the back by the snacks. Thank you guys so much for your support this year. Sending you and your family a Hershey kiss. Stay safe, and God willing, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.